All right, we will go ahead and get started, and we'll call the March 24th, 2025 Erlanger Board of Adjustment hearing to order, and we'll take a roll call to determine if we have a quorum. Mr. Terry Farrow.
Present.
Mr. John McVeigh.
Present.
Mr. Eric Rolfe.
Present.
And Mr. Bob Whalen, present. We do have a quorum. You guys have received a copy of the minutes for our last meeting, January 27th, Board of Adjustment hearing. Are there any additions or corrections to be made at this time? Seeing none, I entertain a motion that the minutes be adopted as presented.
I second that.
I'm sorry, who first?
Oh, did you? Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to approve those board minutes.
Yeah, I'll second.
All right, Mr. Farrow made the motion. Mr. McVeigh approved. Those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? None. Minutes approved. Mark, are there any postponements of any scheduled business items to be made at this time?
None at this time, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Seeing that we have a small audience again, we don't need to go through the public hearing kind of procedures. So we'll go ahead and open the public hearing where we have one item on tonight's agenda. We have BOA 240047, 3511 Dixie Highway, applicant Tate Building Supply, LLC, per Bill Owens, on behalf of Gradle, LLC. The request is a variance request to reduce the required side yard setback within the neighborhood commercial zone of the Erlanger zoning ordinance. In summary, the applicant is proposing a 1,168 square foot raised addition to an existing building with a side yard setback of 2 feet where a 10-foot minimum is required. In the neighborhood commercial zone, a 0-foot setback is allowed. However, if any setback is provided, it must be a minimum setback of 10 feet. And Mr. Sheets, you're already up. Do you have your proposal you could submit?
Yes, I would like to submit the following records which were submitted electronically for the record.
Thank you very much. And to staff, were all the appropriate, I'll let you get back to your microphone, were all the appropriate notifications made?
Notifications were made per KRS 100.
Thank you very much. And to the board members, are there any conflicts of interest?
Nope.
There being none, and were there any site visits to declare?
Nope.
Being none as well. And Mr. Sheets, I will need to swear you in, if you will. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you very much. For the record, please state your name and your position with PDS.
Cody Sheets, Associate Planner with Kenton County PDS.
Thank you very much. The floor is yours.
Yep, so thank you. As was stated, this is a variance request to reduce the required side yard setback within the NC or neighborhood commercial zone of the Erlanger zoning ordinance. The applicant is proposing a 1,168 square foot raised addition to an existing building with a side yard setback of 2 feet where a 10-foot minimum is required. In the NC zone, a 0-foot setback is allowed. However, if there's any setback provided, it must be a minimum of 10 feet. So here we have the property in question. It is highlighted in turquoise. It is actually in Erlanger, as you can see in yellow here, and Ellesmere, as you can see in red. It's approximately 2.25 acres and is currently occupied by a building material supply store. The proposed addition is to the building highlighted in green there. The surrounding area consists of auto-oriented suburban commercial uses, institutional uses, as well as single-family residential homes. Here we have a Google Street View looking straight ahead at the building. This is from 2024 off of Dixie Highway. And here we have another Google Street View, also from 2024, looking at the side of the building. And in this one, you can see where the proposed addition would go. So a little bit of background. Building material sales were previously not a permitted use within the NC zone after the Z21 update, so an expansion of the existing building would not have been permitted. Building material sales are a permitted use within the NC zone of Ellesmere, however. On December 5th, 2024, the City of Erlanger submitted a text amendment adding building material sales as a permitted use within the NC zone. The proposed text amendment received a favorable recommendation from the Kenton County Planning Commission, and on February 4th, 2025, the City of Erlanger approved the text amendment. The current zoning is NC, which does now permit building material sales subject to the following area and height requirements. The one of which we are interested in is that a 0-foot setback is required, or if a side yard is provided, a 10-foot setback is required. Most of the surrounding area is zoned for single-family residential or commercial, as well as some multifamily too. The existing land use is commercial retail, and surrounding land uses include commercial retail, industrial, and office, as well as single-family residential. This was a submitted site plan. The property is highlighted in green. The building that we're focusing on is in purple. Here we have a blown-up image of that building so you can get a little bit closer view. Again, the building's going to be in purple. The property line is in green, so you can see how close it is to that property line there. And the proposed building expansion will be in yellow, which will be 2 feet away from the property line. This is a side elevation of the existing building as well as the proposed expansion. So highlighted in purple is that part that you saw from the Google Street View that does jut out and has the opening underneath. The applicant is proposing to add on an addition, which would include a 2-inch lightweight stone veneer applied over a face of a new concrete block wall. The primary entrance, as you can see in blue there, would be ADA compliant, single door with tempered glass. And the height from the base to the top of the wall there would be 5 feet. So here's another part of the submitted site plan. This is looking down. And here you can see the proposed product display deck, which would be 16 feet by 73 feet, or a total of 1,168 square feet. In yellow, we see a 1-foot 4-inch wide precast wall cap at the top of the new 5-foot wall. In the red circle, there would be a 5-foot aluminum fence, guardrail with a locked gate that would be used for product placement and removal. And there's where that side yard setback will be, which will be 2 feet from the property line. And this is looking kind of off of what would be Dixie, and then also from the rear of the building, off of Dixie on the left side. So that's where that gate would be that would be used for product placement and removal and would be locked. That's the existing building, which does hang over. So section 4.05C7 of the Erlanger zoning ordinance states that all material storage areas shall be screened along the side and rear yard by placing the materials in a building or by providing a 6-foot tall solid screening fence or 6-foot solid screen evergreen hedge. Staff does find that the proposed deck will be a showroom extension that will hold the materials for sale. The deck walls are 5 feet, but because of the height of the deck itself off the ground, the height of the deck walls are considered acceptable by staff and our zoning administrators. So before any variance is granted, the board must find that the variance will not adversely affect the public health, safety, or welfare, will not alter the character, will not cause a hazard, and will not allow an unreasonable circumvention of the requirements of the zoning regulations. In making these findings, you as the board shall consider whether there are any special circumstances which do not generally apply to land in the vicinity or in the same zone. In this case, staff finds that no, the requested variance does not arise from special circumstances which do not generally apply to other properties in the area. The second consideration is whether the strict application of the provisions of the regulation would deprive the applicant of the reasonable use of the land or would create an unnecessary hardship on the applicant. In this case, staff finds that yes, the strict application of the provisions of the regulation would create an unnecessary hardship. In order to comply with the local zoning requirements regarding these uses, the applicant would have to construct the proposed deck 10 feet from the side property line, which would limit that overall display area, or directly on the property line, which would cause it to abut and cross over onto what would practically be the neighbor's property. This would leave the applicant with a very narrow actual deck porch area. And finally, whether the circumstances are the results of actions of the applicant taken subsequent to the adoption of the zoning regulation. In this case, staff finds that no, the request did come about through the normal permitting process. We are giving a favorable recommendation. We do find that it will not be a hazard or nuisance, will not alter the character, and will not have an adverse effect. The side yard setback of the proposed structure would allow the structure to be consistent with the existing building extension on the same side of the building, and would also make use of underutilized space. Other nearby older businesses located on this commercial strip have buildings which extend to the property line or also have minimal setbacks. And I'd be more than happy to take any questions at this time.
Thank you very much. Mr. Sheets, any questions for Cody? I think we're good. Thank you very much. Mr. Owens, if you want to come on up and add anything, you don't have to, but it is your time. If you will, please state your name and address for the record.
Sure. My name is Bill Owens with Tate Builder Supply and with its landlord Gradle, 3511 Dixie Highway.
All right. Thank you. And I just need to swear you in here, so if you would raise your hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, go ahead.
First, want to say thank you for meeting tonight to discuss the proposed variance, which will allow us, I think, to continue to further the growth of our business as well as enhance the western side of our building, which maybe could use a little bit of help there as well. To give you a little bit of background, even though I've been in my position at Tate for over 30 years, I've only been the landlord, the property owner, for the last 7 years. So in that last 7 years, we've had a lot of things that we've had to do, as any business owner, especially of a property as old as ours is, had to do, but now we're on to a list of things we would like to do and want to do. Enhancing the look of the facility is obviously very, very important to us. For those of you that have been around Erlanger for, let's say, longer than 7 or 8 years ago, you might have driven by our facility and wondered if we were even open. The building had fallen into somewhat of a bad look. Our previous landlord was not the best at keeping good care of the facility, which we've certainly tried to do since I acquired the property. So again, that's really all I have to say is thank you very much for considering it. We hope it works out. Thank you.
Any questions for Mr. Owens? I think we're good. Thank you. We will, I'll now go ahead and close the public comment portion of the hearing and open discussion to the board members. Anything to discuss? There being none, I think we'll now go ahead and close the discussion by board members and invite any board member to make a motion.
I would like to make the following motion with reference to file BOA 240047, a variance reducing the required side yard setback requirement within the NC neighborhood commercial zone of the Erlanger zoning ordinance. I move to approve the variance based on the facts and considerations contained in the staff report and based on the testimony of staff and witnesses present at the public hearing. The variance will not adversely affect the public health, safety, or welfare, alter the essential character of the general vicinity, will not cause hazard or nuisance to the public, and will not allow an unreasonable circumvention of the requirements of the zoning regulation.
Thank you very much. Do we have a second?
I second it.
Mr. Rolfe, seconds. And again, a vote of yes is to approve the variance as proposed. And we'll go ahead and take a roll call vote. Mr. Farrow?
Aye.
Mr. Rolfe?
Aye.
Mr. McVeigh?
Yes.
And Mr. Whalen, yes. It passes. Congratulations. Next up on the agenda, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing portion of tonight's meeting. And are there any preliminary hearings to discuss?
Not at this time, Mr. Chairman.
All right, are there any rehearing appeals to discuss?
Not at this time.
And to the board members, any board items to discuss? Nope, I think we're good. And to Cody, any staff items to discuss?
Nope, and as far as I know, nothing for next month either.
Nothing for next month, okay?
Yep.
And nothing else in the audience, so I guess nothing official for next month, but doesn't look like there's anything coming in. I think we have, do you know what the deadline is? Another week, maybe?
I'd have to check. I'm not entirely sure. Usually it matches up about with the meetings,
Okay,
but
but
we haven't
nothing's
got
in.
anything in though.
Got it. All right. With that, I now open the floor for a motion to adjourn.
I adjourn.
Mr. Rolfe makes a motion. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, no.